Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I've got a really fantastic guest for you today. Um, hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I've got a really fantastic guest for you today, Jeanne Andrus, and she's the menopause guru. But she's got a particularly interesting slant regarding menopause, helping women through this period and this phase. It's gonna, and I'm really excited about this conversation, and I'm pleased to welcome her to the show. Jean, welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is a wonderful, wonderful way to have a conversation. I'm delighted to be here.
Yeah. So, your podcast host of Menopause Matters, and you've actually got a very interesting background credentially. And so for the audience out there, talk about how you got started in this space, and we'll dive right into the conversation.
Great. So I was 48. My life turned upside down, and nobody told me why, but it really was perimenopause. And it affected me emotionally more than anything else because I actually was a late menopause, had late menopause. So I wasn't having the physical symptoms, but I was depressed, I was angry, and I had low libido, and I was gaining weight. And so I went through my own health journey as a result of my divorce. I actually believe that divorce is a symptom of menopause for a lot of us because we get so caught up that we don't our marriages fall apart.
Hmm.
And so I went through my own health journey and I decided I was going to become a personal trainer. And in doing that, I started working with a number of women in that same age range. And I found that we all had the same kinds of experiences and issues and basically being torn out of our own lives, being just completely discombobulated by the life that we were feeling. And so I started turning to health coaching as a way of helping my clients. And I realized that it was more than that. It was more than just this reproductive system change, that it was a total, total body, mind, emotion, spiritual change. And then I needed to do more. So I studied as a life coach. I created my own brand of coaching, menopause mastery coaching. And as I went, I kept researching menopause and adding in new modalities to help women deal with this time of their lives. And so I became a Reiki master. I studied yogic breath work and am certified in teaching that. I became a hypnotherapist, um, and just a whole slew of different things were thrown in there to help women really understand how the scientific changes were echoing throughout their existence, really, just their whole humanality. Uh, okay, I'm making up words again. But that is, it really makes us different people. And so we go through this period where we are liable for a huge number of symptoms, and the less we take care of our bodies, the more those symptoms can create havoc and what I call menopause misery.
Hmm.
And if we support our bodies and understand the changes and give ourselves free rein to be the human that we were meant to be in this time of our lives, we turn misery into magic.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's quite interesting because a lot of kind of for the audience, a lot of our audience is professionals, executives, female CEOs, physicians. So kind of talk about this idea. How does your approach to menopause differ from, say a OBGYN or, going to a family practice doctor? Kind of talk about, because you introduce a lot of interesting concepts like breath work, hypnotherapy, Reiki. And how does this help with menopause?
So a doctor, I love doctors. I even love them. I even love some Western doctors. So,
I love how
but
you caveat that as like, I love doctor.
well, I'm going to start there because sometimes I can say some things
Yeah.
as we follow on that sound like I don't love doctors. I actually think Western allopathic doctors have an amazing set of tools for acute problems. That said, they have minimal training in what the normal path through menopause is. They have minimal training in nutrition, and they have minimal training in exercise. And they have very minimal training in stress management and stress relief. So here we have something that is a natural process. Every woman will go through menopause sooner or later if she lives long enough. That said, it's going to create imbalances in your body because your body is used to having that estrogen and progesterone on a cyclic basis, and it's really used to having it at those levels in those periods of time. And so now it comes along and we start losing that ovulation, which creates the estrogen and progesterone. And we could have a whole long discussion about that, but let's not. Because it really gets glaze over science eyes. But when you go to your OBGYN, your OBGYN is coming in with the idea that this is a problem, that it's not a natural thing. And so they do what they do best. They prescribe something. And so that's usually hormone replacement therapy, which is not even safe for all women. But it doesn't really solve the issue because this is what your body wants to do, is to change its levels of estrogen and progesterone. Or they give you specific drugs for specific symptoms. So you might get cholesterol medication, or you might get blood pressure medication, or if you're having a lot of hot flashes, you might get an antidepressant. There is a new thing on the market. I don't know too much about it. Don't know anyone who's taken it. I don't need it, so I'm not going to take it. But you can get these lists of symptoms and walk away with a handful of pills for symptom after symptom after symptom, because doctors aren't saying, oh, this is what your body is going through, so let's support your body in the best way possible. And it goes back to what is it? Not Heraclitus. He's change. Hippocrates. Let food be your medicine and medicine be thy food. So we're looking to support you in a way that does it, that your body likes, that your body is happy with. And so you're not fixing a little bit of it, you're fixing the whole thing, and you're letting your body be what it wants to be naturally. Now, there is this amazing, and I'm going to talk about it here, gift of menopause. And those drugs are going to short circuit at least this gift, at least to a part. And that gift is that we don't have to give, I'll say it this way, we don't have to care what other people think of us. So women in their reproductive years, estrogen is tweaking their brains to make them more social, more people pleasing, more mate attracting, so that when they are 6 to 9 months pregnant and or have a newborn and or have a toddler and are not capable of going out and killing the woolly mammoth, because remember, this is where it all developed. As hunter gatherers, we weren't capable of going out and killing the woolly mammoth or the forest deer or whatever. So we got this, we survived better if we were people pleasers and hold a community together around us. So we had, I hate to use the term sister wives, but we had sisters in our tribe who helped us through that stuff. We attracted mates who went out and killed the the woolly mammoth and brought back the meat. And then we get to menopause, and the estrogen, which has been telling us to be people pleasers all this time, starts to diminish. And we get to say, hey, your opinion just doesn't matter that much to me. I can take a choice. I have a choice now to care about your opinion or my own opinion and make a decision as to which one will be the one that I follow. Now, what this means is that we get to take ourselves from the outskirts of our lives and put ourselves in the center. We don't have to kick anyone else out of the center of our lives if we don't want to. We can. We can, get rid of toxic people in our environment, or we can just choose how we're going to act in relationship to them that allows us to live our own passions, our own purposes, our own priorities at this time of our lives. So what you see is a lot of women who walk away from corporate jobs and follow their passions. I did. I was a corporate DBA. I worked for Oracle Corporation as a consultant, going out, implementing huge computer systems, and I walked away from it. And I walked away because it wasn't filling me up.
Yeah.
Doing that wasn't filling me up. And yet, if you're an executive or a CEO or in the C-suite, you may not have that option. So now you need to kind of deal with that idea that you are no longer quite the same person you were, and that maybe you're not going to be as malleable. Maybe you're not going to be as open to other people's, I hate to say this, dumb opinions. um, Maybe you're not going to give in as easily, and people may take that the wrong way. And what we find is that women in middle to low upper echelons of corporations kind of get stuck here because they're no longer willing to put up with the same kinds of things that they were willing to put up with 5-10 years before. They're no longer willing to be the go along to get along person. It's a quandary. It's a difficult position for us to be in, because we may still love our careers, we may still want to be moving up, and yet we kind of get stuck in this. It's why
Yeah.
I see, I go to a lot of events from entrepreneurs, and I see a smattering of 30-year-olds, mostly mompreneurs who are looking to supplement their income while they have small children and can't see how they can do that without leaving home or creating their own business. I see some 40-year-olds who are sort of precocious, maybe. And then I see a huge number of late 40s and early 50s who are saying, my life was not fulfilling me. I want to fulfill myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So, kind of interesting thing is this idea. I know we have I know you kind of coming towards the end of this conversation, but tell people how they can you know uh contact you, reach out to you, check out your work, um follow you on social media, etc.
Yeah. So I am available through menopause.guru. That's my primary website. And secondly, I am an author. I've written 5 books about menopause. Um, those are available through menopausebooks.com. And my podcast is Menopause Matters. It's available wherever you get and listen to your podcasts. And you can reach me. There's contact information on all of those places, so you can reach out to me from there. I am Menopause Guru on Facebook. That's my page, and that's where I am. And
Yeah.
I work individually and in groups with women, and the hypnosis and the Reiki and all have been amazing tools to add to the idea of nutrition and exercise and stress management. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. For all the audience out there, let's thank Jeanne for coming on and talking about this and offering her insight, wisdom, expertise. And all of her resources will be in the links and show notes, and be sure to check her out. And with that, thanks so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Chris.